Guru Nation, welcome back to the clinicaltrialsguru.com. Again, it's the clinicaltrialsguru.com. Thank you very much for watching. It means a lot to me. Make sure you subscribe. Follow me on all the social networks. Follow me on Snapchat. Follow me on Instagram. Wherever you'd like, okay? But those are the two big ones for me in 2017. So today, I had a lot, like usual, it's just a regular day. I had a lot of client calls, a lot of calls with students. So a lot of questions I've been getting, not just from you viewers, but from people that I actually interact with on a daily or at least a weekly basis. And so one of them was interesting. I'm working with a new clinic somewhere, and they lost a study based on their feasibility questionnaire, which typically we do for our clients, but in this case they wanted to do it themselves, and they didn't get the study. And I'm not saying that if we did it, they wouldn't have lost the study. That's not the point of this video. The point of this video is I had to explain to the client the two steps to getting a study. No matter what clinical trial you're doing, there's 2 steps to getting it, all right? 3 if you include the CDA, which is the confidentiality disclosure agreement. So typically you'll get a CDA, which is a secrecy agreement for your site, for your investigator to sign, or usually someone from the site to sign. They will sign it, and they're promising that they're not going to disclose any information about the drug, the sponsor, the trial to anyone else, okay? That's simple. You're not going to lose a study based on a CDA unless you don't sign the CDA, right? Or you let it sit in your inbox for weeks, if not months, and then realize later that you need to get the CDA back. Well, by that point, they've probably already moved on, okay? So that's step 1. Step 2, they'll send you a feasibility survey, a feasibility questionnaire. This is where they ask you questions about your site, your investigator capabilities, your investigator experience, who your sub-investigators are, who your study coordinators are, what experiences do you have with that particular study indication, where you get your patients from, what your enrollment projections should be, or do you expect them to be for this trial. You're usually given a protocol synopsis at this time, so you can have a little bit of background information on what kind of study, at least the inclusion-exclusion criteria. And then the third step, if they like the feasibility questionnaire, they like what they see, they think there's something there, they being the sponsor or the CRO, then they'll schedule a site selection visit, right? So at the site selection visit, they're going to confirm whether what was on the feasibility survey is correct. They're going to talk to the PI. They're actually going to meet the staff. They're going to do a site tour. They're going to look at calibration logs, drug storage, archiving. They're going to look at your SOPs, all that stuff. SSV, site selection visit, typically takes 1 to 4 hours to complete, and that includes the protocol presentation, or at least slides presenting the protocol or the study to the investigator and their staff. So you can lose the study at any of those steps, okay? Again, like I said with the CDA, you could let it sit in your inbox, which we've had people do this. Let the CDA sit in your inbox for weeks, if not months, and just forget to send it back. Usually they will remind you, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just send out a whole bunch of CDAs, and they send out CDAs to more sites than they plan on using. All right, so you can lose it there if you let the CDA sit in your inbox and you don't respond to them in a timely manner. Timely typically is like a week, okay? The second way to lose a study is on step 2, the feasibility, and this is exactly what happened to this person I was speaking with today. So they don't tell you why unless you ask, and sometimes even then they won't tell you. I have always tried to gather as much information as I can whenever we get rejected from a study. Sometimes they'll just outright tell you, we have too many competing sites in your area, or your investigator didn't have the necessary experience, or your study coordinator didn't have the experience, or we were expecting more enrollment projections from you. So that's what happened to my client. They lost the study on the feasibility survey. They didn't know why, and so they were asking us why, and I just explained what I'm telling you now. There could be a number of reasons, right? But when in doubt, ask. Finally, you could lose a study at step 3 at the site selection visit. Typically, it's very difficult to do that by the time they're already invested in visiting your site, unless they have a last minute surge of competing sites that they haven't looked at yet in your area. So this is typically a problem in Southern California or in Miami, Florida, where there's just fierce competition amongst research sites. Competing sites nearby that could be technically competing for the same patients could be one reason why you lose the study. But usually, if you're already at the point of a site selection visit, the study is yours to lose. So at that point, a more common reason why you would lose it is when the monitor is doing a site selection visit and a site tour of your facility, they may see that where the medication is stored, there's no temperature logs, or even worse, it's not double locked, it's not in a temperature controlled, secured environment, or they can talk to your PI and your PI can say that they have very little experience with this particular therapeutic indication and they don't think they can get patients, or they're not interested in the study, or maybe a study coordinator can say that. So there could be a number of reasons why a site selection visit could go bad, but usually 90% of the time, if you have an SSV, you're gonna get the study. So that's it. That's the 3 steps to getting a study and the 3 ways you can either get or lose a study at each of these 3 steps, right? Thank you very much. Keep your questions coming. Dan from theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Take care.